What's up, guys? This is Paul Virzi here, and this is an announcement before my podcast, which is a first for me. So I'm actually talking to you guys about what you're about to see, because of course there was an issue. So you guys are about to listen to episode TVE 525. Now, I did almost an hour, and I was talking, and about at 8 minutes, it cut out, and about 20 something minutes got cut out. But we decided, instead of redoing it, I was just going to announce this and splice it together, because if we had to redo it, it wouldn't come out till later, and I don't want that to happen. So basically, where it got cut off, I was just talking about how me and my producer, Andrew Themeles, were talking about how people can go to Europe and it's affordable, but they really act like they want to. And they're like, I got to get to that, but they're scared and they really don't want to. That's where it cut off. Like, people are they just don't want to do things that they say they want to do, because for whatever, they like to be comfortable and stay home and just talk instead of do things. So that's where it got cut off. And then it picks back up where I was talking about, just the stuff with people who say something on a podcast that's, they make a mistake, whether they're right or wrong, whether it's a true mistake or not. You can look back on somebody's past and really decide what you think of them. And that's kind of how it's scary. And then I talk about how I basically did some criminal shit. I did some dumb things as a high school, college kid. And I talk about how I was respectful to adults, but I did some things that were pretty stupid. And then I just talk about how what's going on with the podcasts and what happened with Rogan, and how people, and how things can be, how things are looked at and what happens, and when people kind of find things and go back into your past. And I talked a little bit about what happened with Kevin Hart and the Oscars, and how there are some people that, like, if you go back, they really are good people, and then there are some people that, like, are not. And anyway, just talking about that stuff, and that's where it kind of picked up. And then I go into the Olympics and some other things. So instead of just cutting out the podcast completely and doing another one, we figured it may not make sense to you. So I'm going to talk about this. It's going to cut off about people wanting to do things. And then it's going to go to how I was respectful, but I did really dumb shit, and then go on from there. So that's what we're going to do, because otherwise this thing wouldn't come out until next week or whatever. And I did not want to do that. I also talk a little bit about the Super Bowl. Not too much, but if that's cut out, you will hear that on the Anything Better podcast with myself and Bill Burr, which will be coming out soon. Our Super Bowl picks. So that's pretty much where it left off. So I hope that helps. We'll try to get a clip out of this thing. But you, the people and the listeners of the Virzi Effect, deserve the show to come out when it comes out. Obviously, this was a solo one. So enjoy it. And I will be back next week with a guest. This is TVE episode 525. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi. You guys listening to episode, I got to make sure that I'm doing this right here. 525. Yep. Got the speakers, got the microphone. How the hell is everybody doing, guys? 525 episode Virzi Effect podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well in between shows. A lot of stuff to talk about on the show. Thank you guys for your comments on my previous guests. Shout out to Chappelle Lacey. Really interesting conversation last week. This week, I'm flying solo, but a lot of stuff to talk about. Got an unacceptable. We got the Super Bowl. Which I don't really have. I'm not going to give a pick, but I will give my opinions on, and then I will do my pick on the Anything Better podcast, which will be coming out later this week. So Sit back, relax, wherever you may be. I want to thank everybody who listens to the Virzi Effect. I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And you can get the Virzi Effect anywhere you get your podcasts. You can get it on Spotify. You can get it on iTunes, everywhere you get your podcasts. And I will be doing some of these with guests from a studio in the city coming up in the future. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. Shout outs to the Greek Freak, my producer, Andrew Themeles. And he's probably going to comment on the lighting or whatever the fuck is going on here. But anyway, let's get into it. We got a busy week. A lot of things are going on. This whole Spotify, Joe Rogan thing, everybody is going nuts about it. And I just want to start off the show by saying this, okay? I have to do this because you guys know me. If you listen to the show, you know that certain things like this drive me crazy, okay? Forget about anything that Joe Rogan said. Forget about anything that Spotify is saying. Forget about any criticism or praise. I'm not talking about that. My unacceptable for the week is people who are talking about it just to be in the algorithm. People who are fucking trying to be a part of something as if they really fucking care when they don't care. What they're doing is they're trying. Listen, I have a picture of myself and Joe Rogan from 2009, and he was a nice guy to me. Super nice. I performed on Joe Rogan and Friends at this spot on Melrose. Super nice. Took a picture. I'm not going to post that up because we ain't like that. We're not cool like that. We're like we know each other and we have mutual friends, and he was great to me. I would tell him that. But these people that are like acting as if they're a part of it, anything like that when it happens, not just the Joe Rogan thing, any kind of what I find fucking gross, okay? What I find truly gross is anything that's going on, okay? These mentally ill, fucking damaged children who just try to be a part. Look at me, I'm a part of it. I need attention. It's fucking gross. Now, you could sit here and say, well, Paul, you do stand-up. You go on stage. You need attention. All right, fine. But at least I'm using my fucking whatever the fuck I do stand-up for to go on stage and make people laugh. I'm not trying to be a part of all of this other extra shit. And I find that really unacceptable. And the people that do it, they know like who they are and what they're doing. And I'm not talking about Joe Rogan's real friends. I'm talking about these people that latch on and say something either negative or positive just to be a part of it. It's absolutely gross and it's absolutely fucking unacceptable. Okay. That's the shit that I can't handle that people do. And so many people do it. And it's going to keep happening. It's like, listen, and people go, oh, what are you talking about, Paul? There's comedians. You're supposed to talk about like pop culture stuff and stuff that's going on. I get it, but do it in a way that's not fucking gross. That's just my take on it. Okay. Because you can see things out there and just see like, oh, that person is trying to get in an algorithm or that person is doing this. And it's just, it really is, it's just, I can't stand that shit, and maybe I'm being biased because like somebody like Pete Davidson is a good friend of mine, but like all these people that were peers of Pete Davidson's peers, okay, friends with him, coming up in clubs before he popped off on Saturday Night Live, before he, started, dating a pop star, all those things, they were friends. They hung out in clubs. And then all of a sudden you see Pete doing well and he's dating some big star and everybody's got to like hashtag or say something or throw a joke in, totally forgetting that they were in the same clubs hanging out and that's a peer. And it's just fucking gross, man. It's gross. We're in a sick business with sick, mentally ill people who need to be a part of it. They need attention. And the only way they could do it is throw their fucking self with somebody else who's achieving more. It's fucking gross, man. There you go. There's my unacceptable. How about that for the fucking start of TVE 525? How about everybody stays in their fucking lane and stops trying to be fucking gross and being a part of something? How about you just be a real, genuine fucking person and instead of trying to throw something in there so you could feel better? Fucking assholes. I swear, like when people were like saying about Pete Davidson whoever the fuck he's dating and making fun of it, especially if you're a comic that was friends with that dude and now you lost touch because of whatever's going on. And then all of a sudden, just to throw some shit in there so you feel better about yourself, man, fuck you, man. That's how I feel. Oh, it's going to be a TVE like that. Here's another thing. While I'm going, we were talking, okay, and about just like, somebody said to me, I was actually talking to my producer, Andrew Themeles, who you guys know, the Greek Freak. He's a producer. He produces my show. He produces my other show that I co-host with Bill Burr, Anything Better. He's the best. He's the best. He's helping the Virzi effect grow. He does all this shit. He'll put any clips out. But he was saying, we were talking about Italy, right? And he was like, do you know that there are places you can buy in Italy for really reasonable in the country? And he's pulling up these like amazing pieces of property in the mountains of Italy. And you just oversee these mountains and you have land, and the prices were like kind of reasonable. And he's like, people don't even know about this, right? And we were talking about how people always say things like, I was thinking about that. Like, all these people go, man, I'd love to go to Italy. I'd love to do that. Well, why aren't people doing it if it's affordable and you kind of can do it? And here's where it gets a little heavy. All right. And I'm not trying to be too heavy, but I really believe this shit. And as nice and respectful as I was to adults, and I was always respectful to teachers, and they liked me. And I had teachers who call my house in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, make sure Paul's coming. He can really pass this class. He's a good kid. I want him here. And my mom would be like, wow, like I had a and like, I would never, like, when I would get in trouble, it would be doing dumb shit with friends, but I was always respectful, always treated people good. But I did some really fucking horrible things, man. We broke into cars. We threw rocks at cars. We stole alcohol, stole cash sometimes. Like, I mean, a little bit here and there. I would go into stores and shove cigarettes down all these awful, horrible things to either get attention or think I was cool or whatever, that if my kids did, I would be. And I just feel like if somebody looked back on that and was like, like, that's an action I took. Think about that. The action I took was breaking into somebody's fucking car, taking something. Now, granted, I was a drunk punk kid in high school and college, but that's an act that I did. And it came back and get me because my car got broken into and people took shit from my car. And I remember smiling, going, I deserved that because I was a dumb, young fucking punk. But that's not the point. The point is, if somebody looked back and goes, oh, this guy's a nice guy. He's a family guy. He's a stand-up comic. He's got a podcast. He's doing well. He's funny, but this guy broke into cars when he was younger and took shit out to try to be cool when he was in. And am I a criminal? No, I made mistakes. And I think that goes for, I think that goes for sometimes words too. Now, I'm not saying that there are people that aren't really have hate. And there aren't people that say things that they mean and they have malice and it's visceral. It's really a shitty thing. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but there's also a lot of people that when they're younger, they say stupid things, man. They make mistakes. People make mistakes. People say things that are dumb. What if you said a joke? What if you said a racial joke? Okay. A street joke. And people laughed. And it was just like, hey, a guy goes into a bar, like, there's a Jewish guy, a Polish guy, and this and that. And it's like, that's just a joke. Now, obviously, a joke is a joke and things could be taken to a further, but what's the line is, I guess, my point. What's the line? I told you guys, I did a joke about, somebody said, you can't joke about Asian people getting punched in the face. And I said, yes, you can. You can make a joke about the absurdity that because of COVID, people are punching Asian people in the face, and you could find a way to make it funny. Does that mean that I'm for punching Asian people in the face because of this pandemic? Absolutely not. You got to be fucking lunatic to think that. You got to be nuts to think that. If you went to a comedy club and a comedian joked about Asian people getting punched in the face and you actually took it seriously or were upset and offended by it, you're a sick individual. But I do worry about where the line is and what does that mean about going back into people's history. Because I was thinking about stupid shit that I did. And I was like, now listen, I'm gonna sneeze. Shit. I'm not a felon. I was arrested for dumb shit. I was arrested for peeing. I was pissing in public. My buddy went to SUNY Oneonta, and I was hammered, and I pissed behind a car, and I got thrown in a jail cell. I got pissed for getting naked, blacked out, drunk in a emergency room, waiting room, and I started running down the hallway naked, looking for the room that my friend was getting his broken hand wrapped in. I got arrested for that, but nothing big, I know that sounds nuts. But that'll be a joke in a in a special one day maybe, but or a one-off. But yeah, I was definitely doing some dumb shit, but I don't think that means, I don't think. Plus, I also think think about this for a second. Okay. If a grown adult, and again, this is not, I'm talking about any kind of podcast host or any type of comedy podcast or comedian saying something. Because when Kevin Hart was joking about, oh, if my son was gay, this and that, everybody freaked out and stuff and everything like that. Or when somebody goes on and says something that might be, aren't people on the podcast, the host who's saying it, they know they're like having listeners and they're doing it. So sometimes you say something to get a reaction, or sometimes you say something that truly is a joke without hate, and it comes across bad. And then since it's on a show and it's broadcasted, it looks worse. Like when Don Imus said what he said about the basketball team and nappy head or something, and he said something and all of a sudden, like, it was like this thing. Don Imus doesn't know what the fuck funny. Like, he was just saying some dumb shit to try to be, oh, that's what the kids say. I mean, unless he's a fucking raging racist, I don't know. But my thing is, if you're on a show and you're trying and you just, something happens, you got to really fucking know if that person is really, like, you got to know if that person is whoever it is. You got to know if they have that in their heart or not, I think. And I think usually people can really, kind of tell. But I just think it's sad and scary that you can make a mistake, whoever it is, whenever it is, in whatever circumstance it is, and really come under fire and lose a lot. And there are people that are looking for that. And that's the sad thing. There are people that really get to a high point and, people go after you. It's happened with, throughout history. When you see somebody that's moving in a certain direction, there are people that want to knock it down. Now, some of those people, like, fucking whoever was Harvey Weinstein and those people that were like, making all these movies and doing it. People are like, no, this dude's doing some really fucked up. Those people deserve to fall. But you got to you got to know the difference. I mean, you can't. So it made me think back, like, all of this shit going on made me think back to fucking like junior high. Yeah. Well, I drank a lot, man. I was fucking, are they going to go back to, like, if I get drunk at a party, are they going to be, well, in 7th grade, he did a naked keg stand in, going to be some comedy party. I just get like, I mean, I would never do that, but like, somebody gets hammered at a party, fucking pushes over the ice sculpture and starts yelling or doing whatever. And then, and then he's got a history of this. His 10th grade social studies partner on a project said that they were at a high school party and he pulled his dick out and he started pissing everywhere. And they were like, this is going to go on with this. I don't know why I said that. That's never Never happened. But anyway, that's I don't know, man. I don't know. It's you don't want to sound like the old, you don't want to sound like the old guy, but this is wild times. It's, you know, and what sucks is there are pieces of shit out there, and then there are really good people out there. And the thing is, everybody makes a mistake. So it's a tough thing to, it's a tough thing to judge. But you know, what can you do? So what do you guys want to talk about? I'll do a Q&A right now. No, I'm kidding. Because there's no way to get a question. I'm getting a little punch drunk here. Where was I performing? I want to thank everybody, guys. I want to thank everybody who came out to the BYOB, Fairfield, Connecticut, Fairfield Comedy Club in Fairfield, Connecticut. That's right. The Fairfield Comedy Club. I was in Connecticut. It is this little room that they basically transformed a lobby of a hotel into a comedy club. I love it. They have a little stage that stands in front of a fireplace, and you go in there and it's got this cool feel, and they open up these folding chairs for people, and there's people in the front and on the sides, and they're bringing bottles of wine. They're bringing craft beers, seltzers, all these things, and they're sitting there for however long, hour and a half, 90-minute show, drinking in this little intimate setting. And unfortunately, Friday night got canceled due to the ice storm, but I had such a good time on Saturday. So if you're listening to this and you were there, I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Up next, I just got added to the Funny Bone in Syracuse. I will be at the Funny Bone in Syracuse, New York. I'm coming to the mall, everybody, February 18th and 19th. And then one show only in Pittsburgh, February 24th at the Improv. I will be with Joe Bartnick. It is going to be a blast. We are going to have a really, really good time. I cannot wait to go to Pittsburgh. I'm not eating Permanis, though. I'm not doing it again. Permanis is that, you know, sandwich shop. It's that famous sandwich shop, but it's basically like they just shoved all kinds of meats and cheeses and lettuce and tomato into a loaf of bread and then threw French fries in it. It really feels like that. The bread is this big and they just shove shit in there, and it's famous and it's delicious, but it is a carb nightmare. So, but I will be smoking some cigars in one of my favorite cities, by the way. I'm not joking. Pittsburgh. I'm not saying that, just saying that, because I'm going to Syracuse, and Syracuse is one of my least favorite places ever. I'm not even joking. The level of fucking animal that I saw in Syracuse at that fucking shitty mall, the level of animal. Okay. Might be one of the shittiest places. I'm not even joking around. Like, Syracuse has some amazing places and then some of the shittiest places. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and go, I can't wait to get to Syracuse. But I can't wait to get to Pittsburgh. I cannot wait to get to Pittsburgh. But come out to Syracuse because the show will be good. But I'll be out there with Bartnick. All of those tickets are available, paulvirzi.com. Guys, I'll give you a little insight on what's going on here. A lot of stuff with the special is going on. But it is finalized now. It is colored now. Coloring means that they just like lock in. Like, at first there's just a raw, it's just a raw color of like with all the lights and everything. And then when they finalize it, it's like if they make a movie, they darken, the light, like they make it, like they basically lock in how it's going to look for television. So that's done. The sound is done. There's you know, then they go through all the jokes to make sure legally the jokes and all that stuff. So that's happening. And there will be an announcement. 100%. We kind of know what's going on, but there will be an announcement. You know, I will be able to at least say, you know, what's going on by the end of the week. So I appreciate your patience. People asking, cannot wait for you guys to see it. Cannot wait to cut a trailer for you guys to see that, and some clips. There's some jokes that I just can't wait for people to see. And I'm really looking forward to everybody seeing it again. It was directed by Pete Davidson. Shout out to All Things Comedy, who produced the second one that they produced. And I'm looking forward to everybody seeing that. People are shitting on the Olympics, and I saw something going like, this is the worst Olympics in history. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why? The the events are the same. The events are the same. There's curling, there's snowboarding, are they saying maybe because some of the big stars are not doing what they're like, but it's still okay, then it's an opportunity for somebody else to win. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding, like, this would be the worst Olympics in history if they took away, let's say, like snowboarding, and they took away like the ski jump. That's not happening. It's the same shit. Like, Sochi was amazing, and now this sucks all of a sudden. I don't know if they're saying that because of where it is. I did see that one like ramp where it looked like they were like in an industrial fucking dump. Like, it really looked like this ski ramp was in fucking Newark, New Jersey. But other than that, I don't understand why it's bad. It's like, sit there, you're home. You weren't going to China anyway. You weren't going to Beijing anyway. Okay. Like we talked about at the beginning, you're not going to fucking Italy in a nice villa if you could afford it. You weren't going to Beijing. So sit your fat ass down on the couch or in your bedroom. Watch these people fucking ski and that cross country where I was watching the women's cross country where they pull out a fucking gun and they start shooting, and then they go back to skiing and they collapse at the end of it. Like, that was pretty exciting. I even I'm not going to lie, I watched male figure skating. I mean, I was half on my phone, but they kept going. They kept talking about that American kid, Nathan Chen. They're like, this is the nastiest dude. This dude is nasty. And I'm like scrolling on my phone. They're like, he went to Yale and he's, you got to watch this. He had a disappointing 2018 and he's here to redeem himself. So as soon as the dude came on, I took my phone off and I was just like, I was like, dude, this guy's got to land this quadruple. This guy's got to, I'll watch. I don't give a shit what it is. I'll watch figure skating, both male, female. I'll watch curling. I'll watch ski jumping. I don't care if it's men's or women's, snowboarding, but people are like, this sucks. The Olympics sucks. I'm like, nothing has changed other than where they are, what country they're in. So I don't think it sucks. I enjoy it. All right, put it this way. Take the Olympics off. Then what am I going to watch? Am I going to watch my Knicks fucking lose again? Am I going to sit there and go to another, oh, here's what I did see. I did see this. I did see the what's it called? The TinderSwindler on Netflix. I saw the TinderSwindler. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but it's about a dude who had a Tinder account. And what he would do is he would be in these fashion designer clothes, private jets. He said that he was the son of like a diamond lord, in the diamond company. And he would meet these girls. He'd meet these women. I'm sorry, excuse me, not girls. So who knows? I mean, they actually seem the same age. So he would meet. Yeah, it's not some Jeffrey Epstein shit. It was he would meet women on Tinder, and he'd go on a date, and he would act really busy, right? He would act really busy and be like, "I'm sorry, like I have to run. I'm flying to Switzerland and stuff. Why don't you come with me?" Right. And then like these women would go and he'd go, yeah, I got a private jet. We're going to go out there. And like, they'd go on a private jet and they would be eating sushi and caviar and having champagne and all of this shit. But meanwhile, what he did was he would do that. And then he would go, man, I got these enemies and they're after me and they're freezing my accounts so they can't track me. And like these women fall in love with him. They've already been on a private jet with him once or twice. They've been in all these amazing hotels. And then like a month later, he's like, he would show pictures of his bodyguard with like blood. And he was sending that same picture to multiple women. Be like, yeah, they're after us. They're after us. And, so they froze all my accounts and all my credit cards, right? They froze all my credit cards because they said that that's how my enemies are tracking me. which should already be a red flag because I mean, I get you're in the diamond business, but like, why, like enemies don't take it that far. Like maybe there's some competition, but so he would say that. And these women were in love with him because they've like, you know, they slept together. They were, you know, all on these trips for a month. So he would call up and he would go, they froze my accounts. Do you think you could just wire me 25,000 from like a loan in your bank? And then, you know, next week I'll get you, you know? And they were like, of course, because like, he's like, I'm going to have a family with you. He told one woman, like, start looking for apartments, keep it to like 14 or 15,000 a month. And like, this woman was like going to fucking apartments, like so excited. I love you, baby. And he's like, listen, they froze my account. Can you send me another 25K? So what he would do is he would get the 25K from this woman who's in love that he said they're going to have a family. And he would go to a party with that 25K cash and just start throwing it around and having fucking champagne and everybody and meet another woman and then do that. So this dude just kept getting cash from all these different women and all these different people, buying jets with the other woman's money and obviously making excuses and never paying him back. And it obviously came back and he went to jail. Now he's out of jail and he's like still out again. So like doing it again. I think he's back on Tinder or whatever. So now the easy thing is people were like, these dumb fucking women, how fucking dumb can you be? I got to be honest with you. All right, let's be honest for a second here. Okay. If a woman hit me up on Tinder, I'm single dude. Okay? I'm a single dude. All right. And fellas, don't act like you're better than this. Think about this for a second. You're single, you go to Tinder, and a woman says to you, hey, I'm getting on a private jet. I'm going to Italy tonight. Why don't you come with me? I'm staying at the fucking Ritz-Carlton 5-star hotel. There's going to be sushi, champagne, all this shit on the jet. Hang with me for a couple nights. And then I got to go to work and I'll fly you back. And you do it. And all of a sudden you and that person in a relationship. And then like 5 weeks later, they're like, oh my God, dude, they froze my accounts because of some criminals chasing me or whatever. You think you could send me money? I got to be honest. I probably would think it's a red flag. But I would be like, dude, I was just on a private jet. I was flying here, flying there. There was bodyguards. I was in a thing. I got to be honest. I don't think these women are that dumb. I think that these women got fucked by an evil person. That's what I think. I don't think it's easy to say, oh, they're stupid. How could they not tell? I got to be honest. I don't. And listen, I'm a Sicilian kid. I could see shit coming. If you take it to that level, I think anybody can be taken like that. And you guys know me. You put me on a private jet, white leather seats. You throw caviar down my fucking gullet, a little bit of Japanese red snapper, and you start fucking pouring Dom, you know, and I'm going to Italy. And then I get there and there's a hot tub in a penthouse, fucking unbelievable hotel. And we do that for like a month. And then you're like, listen, man, they froze my accounts. Can you just go to the bank and get 10 grand? You know, I have so much money. I'll be able to. And he also had online that when you looked him up online, he said he's a billionaire. So you're going to be like, yeah, 10 grand. What are you kidding me? I'm going to be fucking, you know, I'm going to be skydiving off a building in fucking Dubai next week with this asshole. Yeah. Yeah. Here's my 10 grand. So that I watched it and I was just like, I can't believe. But here's my thing. You gotta be to do that to somebody like on a normal. And then like when these women would find out and go, I know everything. I'd be like, if you cross me, it'll be the last thing you'd like. He went from like this nice, quiet to just like, you know, I'm coming for you shit. So, but to take money, like you gotta be like imagine taking money from an innocent person like that and then just going to the mall and going to like Gucci or Louis Vuitton, just clearly taking somebody and then getting on a flight and doing like that takes a fucking, I don't know, man. That's evil on a whole other thing. You know, it's obviously better than killing somebody, of course. I know there's some dudes listening to this like, yo, that dude's dope, man. He's actually selling a business class. This is not a joke. For like $311, he's selling a business course online right now. You can go and search this guy, the TinderSwindler, search who it is. He had different aliases and different names when he was doing it, but he's out of jail. He did like 5 months in jail. He's out. He's back at it. And like, you know, making money. He's got like a model girl. He always has like these model women with him and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Like and these women were like, oh my God, he's my friend. I loved him. I sent him. But like this one woman I will say was a little much, where like she went 25 grand. He's like, I need another 30 grand. Then he said to him, put your house up. Please put your house up. I'm dying here. They're going to, sell your car. He was doing shit like that. And like this one woman just kept doing it. So that's like, after, but I'm talking initially, maybe the first 10, 20 grand, I would have been like, yeah, that's here. She's taking me everywhere. She's taking me she's taking me to everywhere. So whatever, but really, actually, I thought that one was pretty good. So, and I like the one and dones. I don't like series anymore. I'm done with series. I think I said on stage, I don't know if I said this on the podcast last time, but like, these shows are meshing so much that the other day I envisioned Boba Fett walking into the Ozark house, like Boba Fett just walking in and seeing like Laura Linney and fucking Jason Bateman at the table. And he's just like, I'm looking for my friend. And they're like, wrong show, dude. You got to go over to Disney Plus. You got to go over to Disney. You got to go over to Disney Plus. But I'm going to have another guest, guys. I'm going to have another guest on the Virzi Effect. Please spread the word, too, about the Virzi Effect. If there's any guests that you'd like me to have on here, and not the same typical podcast guests. I know you guys are fans of comedians and stuff, but like if there's some other shit you want, or like I'm serious. I want to get like a ex-athlete on. I want to get like an ex-bodyguard of like an athlete. I want to get like cool shit. I want to talk to people with cool stories and stuff, and people that have been around stuff. So if there's anybody that you want me to have on the show, I will. And please subscribe, tell a friend, all that stuff. Get it on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you get your podcasts. And yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the show. Please. And a studio, perhaps. I'm trying to figure out which area in New York, but I'll hopefully like to sit down in a studio with guests in there and do that sporadically. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and go to paulvirzi.com for all of my dates. If you're listening to this right now and you are in Austin, Texas, I'm coming in March. If you are in Side Splitters, Tampa, Florida, I'm coming in May. I am also the end of March into April. I will be at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm coming to Buffalo, May 26th, one night only. And more stuff is coming too. I just added more stuff. I think the Chicago area should be announced soon, so you guys could check me out there. And very, very soon, you guys will be seeing the special and all that stuff. So this has been TVE 525. Enjoy the Super Bowl. You could check out the Anything Better podcast with me and Bill Burr for our picks. Maybe even gamble with us. Don't forget, I beat the book. Guys. I picked 72 games this year, 4 games a week, every week for 18 weeks. And I beat the book above 500. I think I was like 4 games above 500, and I went 0-4 the last week. Think about that. I could have easily, and I should have easily went 2-2 that week and been 6 games over 500. I had people coming out to show saying, Paul, you're making us money. That's what I do. I'm going to give you laughs and make you money. Hope to see you guys at the show. This has been 525. You guys are the shit. I'm out of here. Talk to you soon.